Sukhasana, easy seated pose, or however you want to be seated today. We'll just take a minute to arrive in our practice. Just take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, exhaling, sighing out through the mouth. And again, gently in through the nose. And exhale, release. And then just draw your awareness into the breath, into the space, the four corners of your mat. And just begin to let go of anything beyond the space. Just grounding into the present moment. Today is our last practice of February, where we have been working through the topic or theme of anger. So we have been working with the mantra just for today, I will not be angry. This is something that we will incorporate into our practice today, as well as an affirmation that I will share later. If this is your first time coming to this practice, that's okay. We're just going to notice how that mantra lands for us today. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of anger, maybe not. It doesn't matter. If there's something that you would like to let go of from your day, if there's something that you are holding on to that is bringing up anger or adjacent emotions surrounding that, just setting the intention today to notice it, to create some space between you and whatever the situation is, taking time to reflect and to respond with compassion. Today we'll be doing some heart opening, shoulder movement, working with some movement of the spine and a little with the hips. These are places that those emotions can reside and just kind of get stuck sometimes. So we'll begin by just kind of scanning the body and noticing if there's anywhere that's holding tension, anywhere that you may be holding on to some emotion, some anger possibly. If there's anything that comes to mind right away that you'd like to let go of, maybe setting an intention there. And just letting the breath flow naturally and scanning from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. Just really taking stock of how our bodies feel as we arrive in our practice at the end of our maybe busy day today. And then we'll begin with just gently opening our eyes, and we'll take some gentle spinal twists. Inhaling, bringing the arms up, reaching skywards. Exhaling, right hand or left hand to the right knee, right fingertips to the floor, and then inhaling back through center. Exhaling, right hand to the left knee, left fingertips to the floor. And back through center, just moving with your own pace, your breath here, focusing on creating some space in the spine, just gently warming up here, connecting with our breath. And one more on each side. And when you find yourself turned back to the right, pause there, landing the left hand on the right knee, right fingertip to the floor, to the mat. And then landing through the crown. And you can, just let the belly be soft here as you open up to the right side in this gentle twist. Let the belly be soft and let the motion of this twisting really release any tension here. 3 more breaths. On the next breath, we'll leave the left hand on the knee and we'll just sweep the right arm up. And we won't come all the way to the knee. We're just going to reach the fingertips towards the other direction. So rooting that right hip down and just really reaching through the rib cage, through the arm, as if someone's maybe pulling gently on the fingertips. Reaching, reaching, reaching. And inhale, coming all the way back up and back through center. Sweeping both arms up, lengthening, reaching through the fingertips. Exhaling, bringing the right hand to the left knee, left fingertips to the mat. Again, finding that length here through the spine and rooting down through the sit bones. Exhaling, opening up, maybe deepening that twist a little. And then letting the belly be soft. So we breathe here. Any more breath. And on the next breath, sweeping the left arm up, reaching over little sides in here, reaching down through the left hip and through the fingertip. Breathing here, 3, 2, last breath. Inhaling, coming all the way back up. And releasing, coming back through center. Let's uncross the legs and cross them the opposite direction. And we'll find our sit bones, really rooting down into the earth, and then walk the hands out however far is comfortable for you in front of you. Then letting the chin come towards the chest and just rounding through the spine here, reaching down through the base of our spine, and reaching our crown towards the earth as well. Really creating some space and some openness in the backside of the heart center, through the shoulders. And just walking the hands over to the left. And a couple of breaths here. And back through center. and over to the right. And back through center. And then walking the hands back towards the body, slowly coming all the way up. Let's bring our fingers interlaced behind our back, interlacing the fingers and drawing the shoulder blades together. Reach the knuckles towards the earth, pushing the palms together, elbows draw together, opening the heart space, tilt the head up. Just a little stretch through the front side of the body here. And gently release. Let's meet in tabletop. Bringing your blanket maybe to the mat to support your knees. And in tabletop, our knees are stacked under the hips, wrists stacked under the shoulders, tops of the feet, and palms pressed into the mat. You can also, we're going to be doing some cat cows. So if you have some wrist pain, you can come down to the forearms as well, or sometimes coming up onto the knuckles, like onto a fist, can be helpful. So we'll move through these cat cows. Inhaling, dropping the belly, gaze comes forward, tailbone rises. Exhale, rounding through the spine, tuck the tailbone. Gaze comes towards the navel. Inhaling, dropping the belly, drawing the shoulder blades together, gently opening the heart space. The tailbone rises. Exhale, rounding, broadening through the shoulders as you press into the mat. And just move through these at your own pace. Really think about the connection between your breath and the movement that you're making. Feel free to spend more time in the shoulders, taking any movement here that feels nourishing to the body. Maybe rocking the hips side to side. Maybe isolating the rib cage. Just really use this next minute or so to just feel into the corners of your body and notice what's there. Notice if there's tightness or tension or ease. Notice the areas that are relaxed. This movement of the spine helps us to create some space and maybe release some stagnant energy that we're holding on to. And 5 more breaths here. Those cat cows. And coming back through center. Walk the hands back, bringing the hips towards the heels and coming into a variation of child's pose, whichever you'd like. You can have the knees together. You can bring the knees further out, creating some more space. And maybe if you're here in a wide leg, we walk the hands forward and bring the chest towards the mat or towards your bolster. Have the knees together, bringing the arms to the sides, letting the crown come towards the earth. And again, connecting with the belly here, just taking about 5 deep breaths in the belly. Really let the belly be soft. Think about the hips reaching down towards the earth. Releasing any anger to the earth. Just for today, I will not be angry. Incorporating our mantra we want. Just for today, I will not be angry. And bringing your gaze towards your fingertips, shifting the weight forward, coming back through tabletop. We'll do some thread the needle movement. We won't be pausing right away. So we'll inhale, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, feed the right arm through. And then inhale, come all the way back up, reaching through the fingertips. Exhale, thread the arm through. Inhaling one more time, reaching all the way up. Exhaling, coming all the way through, reaching as far as you can. And then resting that shoulder on the mat. And coming all the way up. We'll take a little downward dog here, just tucking the toes from tabletop, lifting the knees and the hips, pressing back. Knees can stay bent. You can widen the stance, bringing the feet towards the edges of the mat, pressing the chest towards the thighs. Taking a couple of breaths here. You can pedal it out if you'd like, bending and straightening the legs. And lower all the way down, coming back into tabletop. And then coming down, bringing your belly to the mat. Letting the legs come out long. Coming into Sphinx pose, bringing the elbows under the shoulders, forearms pressing into the mat. Draw the shoulder blades together, opening the heart space towards the front of the room, towards the front of your mat, and just connecting here for a moment with the breath. Connect with the heart center. Notice how it's feeling today. Maybe imagining a warm, compassionate energy flowing from the space, flowing into the body, spreading out with each breath, softening the edges. And exhale, lower all the way down, bring the forearms to the top of the mat, resting the forehead. Just taking a couple of breaths here with the spine long. Think about any thoughts that you're carrying from your day, anything that maybe you're frustrated or upset about, their forehead towards the earth, letting that go, letting any tension from the forehead release. Draw the hands under the shoulders, pressing all the way back, coming to tabletop. And we'll take a pigeon pose on the right side, drawing the right knee towards the right wrist and bringing that right foot forward, sending the leg out long, hips sink down, square towards the front of the mat. You can stay up on the palms or on the fingertips. Taking a couple of breaths here. Wherever your ankle is wherever's comfortable for you. It doesn't need to be the top of the mat or anywhere in particular. Just whatever feels right here. A few breaths here, really trying to focus on any sensation in the right hip, in the glute. These places our emotions can get stuck. Inviting it to soften, even just a little, 1%. And then just rolling on to that right hip, coming to a seated position with the left leg out long, right foot towards the center. Rooting down through your sit bones, lengthening through the spine. Draw the shoulders together, shoulder blades together. Taking a couple of breaths. And then we'll just turn towards that left leg. Walk the hands out, keeping the spine nice and straight, reaching through the crown. So wherever this is for you, you can also just shift towards that left leg and stay up here if you'd like. And then softening into the pose, rounding through the shoulders, through the back. We're not pulling or forcing ourselves here, just really allowing our bodies to just be where they are today. Just wherever you're feeling a gentle stretch. Maybe in the back side of the left leg, maybe in the lower back. And walking the hands back, slowly coming up. Can bend through that left leg and switch to pigeon on the opposite side. I'm just going to flip around on my mat so I'm not facing away from anyone. You can towards the back of your mat if you'd like. Drawing that left knee towards the left wrist. Bringing the right leg out long. Taking the hips down, opening through the heart space. And just noticing how this feels on this side. Notice any sensations that are arising for you. Three more breaths here. And then rolling down on to that left hip and bringing the right leg out long. Finding your sit bones rooted down, lengthening. Taking a couple of breaths just to ground in. And turning towards the right leg and walking the hands out. Lengthen through the spine at first. Just noticing where you feel the stretch. And then maybe rounding down, surrendering a little deeper. And slowly walk the hands back, coming all the way up. We'll come into a deer pose, bringing the right shin parallel to the top of your mat and the left shin parallel-ish to the side of your mat. Placing the right hand down by the right hip, sweep the left arm up. Just another little side stretch here. Reaching through the fingertips, reaching the left hip down. And there's an option to come all the way up and just pause here, or maybe coming all the way down and twisting over that right leg. So folding over the right side, either on the hands or coming down to the bolster or to the forearms if you'd like. I like to just stay up on the hands most of the time. So we're back in this twisting shape with our spine. Breathing in the belly. And we'll walk the hands back through center and switch to the opposite side. It may feel good to bring the knees out in front and just windshield wiper the legs back and forth, loosening up the hips a little. Then the left shin comes parallel to the top of the mat, right shin parallel to the side, lengthening up through the crown as you reach down through the sit bones. And just taking a moment here and placing the left fingertips by the left hip. Sweep that right arm up, reaching out through the right side, reaching through the fingertips, rooting down through the hip. And then coming all the way up or folding over that left side. Coming to the hands, maybe to the forearms. Notice one side probably feels a little different than the other. Perfectly normal. Come back to the breath or maybe to that intention that you set at the beginning of your practice today. Maybe you're letting go of something. On your next breath, walking the hands back and coming back through center. We'll make our way to laying down on our mat, head facing the front of the room. Laying down, the knees bent, feet hip distance apart. Just take that windshield wiper motion one more time. Nice and slow, just rocking the knees back and forth. And a little bit of a massage to our lower back. And coming back through center, draw the knees in towards the body, grabbing on wherever you can, the back of the thighs or the shins. Just squeezing the knees in. Maybe pulling the chin towards the chest. Just lengthening the back of the neck a little. Maybe you want to rock side to side here if that feels good to you. Then we'll interlace the fingers on the right side, either on the shin or behind the thigh. And then lengthen the left leg out long, let the heel drop to the mat. And reach through the left foot, through the sole of the foot. Toes flex towards the body. Hugging the right knee in towards the chest, or towards the armpit even. Lengthening through the front side of our left leg. Maybe it'll feel good to point or flex the toes here. And then drawing the left knee back in, switching, extending the right leg out. Let the heel drop down towards the mat. Reaching through the sole of the right foot. Hug the left knee in. Nice little stretch through the legs. Pointing and flexing the toes. Bring the right knee back in. Another little squeeze here. Maybe a little rock. Then we'll drop the feet back down to the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together, finding Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. Letting the knees fall open. Knees fall towards the earth, or you can take your block and place the block under the thighs or the knees for a little support. Getting to wind down here as we prepare for our meditation portion of the practice. Taking a few final postures. Take a moment here, resting in this posture. Maybe placing one hand on the belly and one hand on the face, or both hands on the belly. Whatever you feel called to do here. And just reconnect with the breath. Notice the rise and fall of these spaces with each breath. Our affirmation for our practices this month has been, I release anger with compassion. I find peace in the present moment. When we use these affirmations, we just use it as a time to reflect and notice if there's any resistance to the word, how it lands in your heart. Just notice if this is the first time incorporating this, or if you've been working with this affirmation all month, how your relationship is to these words. I release anger with compassion. I find peace in the present moment. You can release your hands to the sides, palms facing up. Just surrendering to this moment, to your practice today, and however our bodies move. If our minds wandered and drifted, noticing and being okay. It's okay. Our practice is perfect just the way it is. Letting go of any judgment, any stories. And feel free to take any movement that feels good here. As we prepare for meditation, if you'd like to take any final stretches, just bringing the knees together, slowly removing any props to the side, and certainly stay there if you'd like. Just taking any nourishing movement before you settle in to stillness. Maybe taking a big stretch. And then finding however you would like to rest in this meditation. Maybe you want to have a bolster under your knees, or you'd like to have your blanket. Just taking some time to get cozy here. And then taking a cleansing breath in through the nose. Exhale, release, sighing out through the mouth. And another deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, release. And just let the breath flow naturally. Letting go of any shape or control. And begin to notice the support beneath you. See if you can find some evenness in the shoulders and the hips, and the arms and legs. Feel into all of those points of contact. The back of the head and neck, the shoulders, the upper back, lower back, the hip, back of your leg, the heels. Notice the temperature of the air in the room, the feeling of your clothing. And begin to turn your gaze inward, soften the forehead, let the eyes rest heavy here. The jaw relax. And begin to maybe scan through the body again, the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. Noticing the shift in the physical body, the energy of the body, and the mind. Notice in these moments of pause, we are able to create space, how we can cultivate more awareness of our inner landscape. So when we take our practice off the mat, that's where the real practice begins. We take our tools learned out into the world. Life gets messy. Maybe we get into situations where we feel judged or a boundary is crossed. And maybe anger arises. Can we take the practice of creating space into those situations? Can we take a breath and just notice what's happening in the inner landscape? Maybe when we get angry, we feel heat in the body, a tightness. Notice how anger arises for you in the body. And in these moments, pausing and creating space, reflecting on the stories, the sensations, and opening ourselves up to compassion, connecting with the heart space, coming back to that visualization of this warm, compassionate energy, loving energy, moving through the heart, the space around the heart, through the chest, lungs, shoulders, and the arms, into the hands. Maybe if there's a space within your body that is feeling in need of nourishment, in need of nurture, can guide this compassionate healing into those spaces by placing our hands there. We can envision this energy filling our entire body, warm light, filling the belly, the hips, the legs, our entire body wrapped in a warm blanket of love and healing. And we can understand that anger is a valid and common emotion, natural to feel anger, not judge ourselves in these moments. To have understanding, and to release it. And it's time to let go and move forward. Take these next few moments, just reflect, to feel this energy reaching into all of the corners of the body, to the energetic spaces around the body, holding you in this space of light, warmth. And slowly begin to just deepen the breath. Again, noticing the rise and fall of the heart space and of the belly. Noticing the support beneath you. The feeling of your clothing. And as you begin to gently awaken, making gentle, small movements at first with the fingers and toes, the wrists and ankles, and taking your time, taking all the time you need to come back. Maybe you roll to one side and pause for a few breaths. In whatever way is intuitive to you, making your way slowly back to a seated position as we close our practice today. And bring the hands to the heart space in some way, either in prayer pose, or you can place the hands over the heart center, whatever you are most comfortable with. Just taking a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for carving this time in the middle of the week out of a busy schedule to come to your mat, to Make space to connect with your body and with your breath. I'm grateful for bodies that can move through this practice in any way whatsoever. I'm grateful for people to practice with and for beautiful spaces to practice in. May you walk in loving kindness. May you share your unique gifts. And may you remember your true essence is love. Thank you for sharing this with me today. Thank you. Thank you.